Okay, so here we are going to do a little hangout. Here we're going to do a little hangout on air, and we're going to be talking about how to be authentic online and sell stuff too. So, um, I have a couple of things that I want to talk about. And if you look at the event here, this should be also posted in the YouTube video link that will be public after this video is done. So today we're going to be, I'll just do a quick overview about what we're going to be talking about. So first, having an authentic face online, or authentic online face with blogs or social media. Second, what I like to call the 60-30-5-5 rule. I just made this up, but it sounds right to me, and I'll explain that when we get to it. Third is the everything that you need to know. This is really important. Everything you need to know, you can learn, or for example, creating a blog, creating a business Facebook page, almost any web design or graphic design or anything like that has a free tutorial on YouTube. You just have to know how to find it. So we'll talk about that. Creating a Facebook business page around an interest, if you can. And then the last thing is, where do you go on Facebook or Google Plus, specifically to find people who are interested in what you have? So anyway, so let's get started. So the first thing is having an authentic face. So I used to do a lot of actually. I ran the Colorful SEO, a business that I started, and one of my clients is a dear lady, and she is lives in Pennsylvania. She's really great, and she is, I think she's in her mid-60s, and just a wonderful lady, and she just at first just was very uncomfortable with social media and anything that had to do with online presence, and it makes sense because it is a different world than the world that you grew up in, and that's totally fine. And this is what I was telling her, and it took her a while to finally be okay with actually having her face and her name on the internet for anybody to see. But in order for if you I believe that if you want to have any sort of an impact on anybody who's outside of your direct circles of friends and family, you have to be very authentic online, and you have to in many ways be vulnerable, and it can be really scary because you're kind of putting yourself out there, and so even myself, I'm 30 years old, and I've even struggled with this, and I've had a lot of objections and people. I just wrote a blog post about this today, actually, about how there's a lot of people that hate you if you say stuff that you think is true, and or at least the people you've never seen before, or even talked to, say the craziest stuff about you, and so it can be scary, and that makes sense. But I believe that you can be authentic, and that being authentic will be more powerful than not being authentic, and then trying to put up a fake profile or some sort of a pseudonym or all those types of things. You can still do those things, and that's fine. And I've even done it in the past. Just for fun, actually. I've deleted them since, but you should be very authentic, and if you are authentic, you can really. I think that more people will see, oh, this is a real person, and they have personality, and they eat food, and they do things just like I do things, and have fears and hopes and desires and quirks and all that stuff, just like me. And so the more authentic people see that you are, it will open them up to you. And we'll talk more about how that will apply in actually talking to people about business that you're doing as well. So let's yeah, let's just I'm going to move on to the next thing. So this specifically this second point of the 60-30-5-5 rule. I believe that in order for you to do business and be authentic and spread your message or market any sort of product online, you need to follow this rule. And that is the 60%. So 60 plus 30 plus 5 plus 5, unless I'm doing math incorrectly. I think that's right. That's 100%. So 60% of the time, you just need to be you. And you just do stuff and you post stuff about you. For example, on your blog, if you have a blog and you create a blog, you just have to post stuff about your life if you want. I mean, it's your blog, it's your Facebook page, it's your whatever, Google Plus or Twitter account, and you just be yourself, and people will respond to that. I've written a lot of blog posts in the last little while, and the ones that I think have the most impact on people, like personally on people, are the ones where I'm just flat out honest about myself in my life. Like this one that I posted today has had a pretty, personal impact for a lot of people, because I talk about how, you get hated if you do good things, and people pop up and they hate you for some crazy reason, and I feel very vulnerable about that, and so I share that, and then people respond, and then they say, you know what, I do too. That's crazy. I've felt the same way, and so when people see that you're personal and you're real, they respond to that. So I think it's very powerful to use. 60% of the time. And when I say this percentage, I'm breaking this into your posts, how often you post, and the percentage of posts that you create. So it's basically that 60% of the time, 60% of the posts you do on whether it's your blog or your Facebook page or your business Facebook page or your Twitter or whatever you're on, Google Plus, you create those personal posts. 30% of the time is, and this is really important, contribution to others' key conversations, other people's conversations. So other people are online, other people are on blogs or on social media or on all these places on the internet, and they have their audiences too, and they have their little personal 60% stuff too, even if they don't follow this rule. And so to connect with those people, not only being real yourself, but be real in other people's conversations, contribute to other people's conversations. So you go to their Facebook page, you go to their blogs, even if it has nothing to do with your business that you're doing, and just be real with people. And if they have a post about how they are tired of changing diapers all day because of their newborn, and they're like, holy smokes, I can't believe they broke the 15 diaper record today, or whatever. I don't know, that's kind of crazy, but then you'd be like, oh yeah, like I remember that when my first son or whatever, and you interact, you be real with them, and you post something where you didn't have to, and it's very well. First of all, it's real and it's good, and it creates real connection. And that is what drives personal connection, and which is really every purchase on the internet. And some people might want to debate this with me, but every purchase on the internet, I believe, is emotionally driven. And and so if you're connected to somebody personally, if they remember you and remember your comment, they will know that, like, oh, this is a real person, and I trust them. And they're like me, so they relate to the type of person that you are. And it may not work in every single situation, and you may comment, and it may depend, because you may be reaching out to somebody that has a humongous audience, or commenting or contributing on somebody that has a humongous audience, which I think you still should do. And you might get lost in the sea of comments or whatever, you know. But I still believe that you should be real and that you should contribute to those ones as well. But contribute to other people's conversations. This is that's a huge thing. I think 30% of your time, or your posting time on the internet, should be spent doing that, because that'll create real connections. And when somebody, like, if you think about it for yourself, reversing it, if you're creating a blog post or a Facebook post, and then somebody comes and comments on your post and they say, wow, that really helped me, or that was really interesting, I love what you said about you know, whatever, and then you say, you look at them and you're like, who is this person? I don't think I've talked to them since like elementary school, or whatever. And so then you think, wow, who, you know, and you go and you start looking at their profile and seeing what they're up to these days, and maybe they have a blog, and then, you know, and so it's like, oh, what do they do? And then that will draw them to, naturally they will want to be interested in people that are interested in them. So so going back to number one, being authentic online, and creating, you know, being yourself, and part of yourself is your business, and that's okay. That's great. Part of who you are is what you do, and, you know, I mean, you go to like a community function, or, you know, anything like that, and you're talking to people, or like a barbecue, and they're like, hey, so how you doing, and so what do you do, you know? It's like, oh, well, you know, and then you start that normal conversation about what you do, and well, I'm a blogger, I sell nutritional supplements through the internet, you know, I help people with you know, who are struggling with mood disorders, to be able to discover a better life. I help people to have better, you know, I sell these trampolines, and it's amazing what people can, you know, how it's changed my life. It literally has changed my life, and so it's like you talk about it, you tell your story, you know, and just like you would be at a barbecue doing that, you have that ready for people to read on your profiles, on your whatevers, your blogs, your Facebook page. You know, it'll say, oh, where do they work, and it has a link straight to your Facebook business page or your blog, where you can talk about, hey, I sell this stuff, or hey, this is what I do. And they don't have to go look for that, but they probably will if you are genuinely interested in them. And so, as a kind of a caveat for this whole thing, the point isn't to, you know, the greater vision isn't to just sell your stuff. The greater vision is that there are a lot of people out there that are great people, and you're a great person, and you have a lot of things to contribute, and they have a lot of things to contribute, and as you are authentic and real online, you can work together with all these different people, and you'll make amazing connections that will probably be a blessing in not only their life, from you helping them possibly with the thing that your business does, but also, you know, both. So it'll be mutually beneficial, and that's what I love about the internet. That's why I love the internet, is because you can. I mean, there's definitely the trolls out there, and the people that'll hate you and, you know, say crazy stuff on your Facebook page or your blog posts and try to get you down. But other than those people, I think there's so much potential out there. And so I'm just going to tell a story because I was going to tell it in number 5, but just to illustrate that principle. So I love Google+. Google+ is awesome. We're on it right now, and I'm broadcasting to the world, and through Google+, Hangouts on air, and it's really cool because you can connect to people that you've never been met before, and who have common interests. Like I'm trying to learn to play the cello, and I can connect with other people who are like cello professionals. I like to eat healthy food, so I can, connect with other people that like don't like to eat dairy and who want to make sure everything's organic and recycle their garbage and stuff like that. And I like to exercise and be healthy, and there's a lot of people out there that have those common interests. I love Jerusalem, so I can connect with people who have been there and who have talked about Jerusalem and who have studied Jerusalem and who live in Jerusalem. And so specifically with that one, for example, in Jerusalem, I actually one of my good friends I met through Google Plus, and he's actually a Jewish rabbi who lives in Jerusalem. And my wife and I, Stacy, we were our honeymoon was to the Holy Land, to Jerusalem, and a couple other places, and because I connected with my friend Adam through the internet, and I connected with him through real connection and having these little Google Plus Hangouts and really like actually having real like authentic interaction with each other. We built that trust, and we actually stayed with his family in Mitzpah Jericho, which is just outside of Jerusalem, while we were over there. Not the whole time, but for quite a while, and it was awesome. And it was one of the most amazing experiences of our life, because it was so cool to live, not only see firsthand the life of Orthodox Jews and their community and everything, but like talk to a rabbi, go to the Western Wall in Jerusalem with a rabbi who has this great experience, and while in Jerusalem, and his dear wife and his kids, and it was just such a rich experience, because I was willing to be vulnerable and trust somebody online and be authentic. And there's a lot of people out there that will be like, wow, you never know if they're going to be like, a terrorist, or you never know if they're going to like try to hack your stuff or whatever. And yes, there's definitely a risk, you never know. But I think you're safer to be there's things you can do, and that'd be like a whole another hangout or presentation on that alone, of what you can do to try to safeguard against those things. But that's that's something that I think is powerful, that if you put yourself out there and you trust people, they will probably trust you back. And you can have amazing experiences because of that. So that's my story about Jerusalem, and I so I'm just gonna let's see here. So go on to the next question. So number 3 is that everything you need to know how to do, like create a blog, create a Facebook business page, a Google Plus business page, any sort of web design or graphic design, literally almost everything that you could do on the internet has a YouTube video where some person or business or somebody has created a free tutorial. Everything on YouTube, almost, right, is free, and where you can look it up. And I mean, I taught myself how to do SEO, how to create websites, how to design a theme, how to alter CSS files, how to do Adobe Premiere Pro, which is the video software, how to create intervalometer time-lapse videos through that software, how to edit Photoshop and do all. I mean, I've taught myself so many things because there's free tutorials on YouTube. So let me just show you real quick, because I can share my screen with you for a second. Let me just pull up YouTube here and just show you a couple of examples. I'll pull it up in just a second. So, so let me hold on one sec. So how to create a blog. And then let me share my screen so you can see it. Okay, so here we go. Start. Okay, so here, I think everybody can see it now. Okay, great. So here we are on YouTube, youtube.com, and then just up here in the the search bar, you just type in how to create a blog, or what do I do to make a blog, or what's the best, and like I said in the thing, you can learn how to do almost anything if you know how to look for it. So this is key, and I think I maybe gained a little bit of information on how to look for it because I did because of my just background in search engine optimization. And you have to kind of know how to, like, sometimes you actually have to do a search to know what to search for, and maybe just like a Google search. So for example, on, like, when I was learning how to create videos online, or on Premiere Pro through the Adobe software, so I would say, like, and I wanted to know how to slow it down or something like that. So I say, how to slow down on, I'm just going to use an easier example here, iMovie. So you Google that and you're like, okay, how to slow down, and then so you click on, and right here, even in Google, they'll have probably the first few ones are video tutorials, right? Which are great. So sometimes, though, the terminology in the software isn't slow down. It's actually going to be something like how to activate, tortoise mode or something like that. That it's like, or for example, right here. So it's like, thanks for watching, guys. This video shows you how to make a video clip slow-mo or sped up or whatever. So it may have like a different term. So sometimes you have to like search it in Google before you then search it in YouTube. So then once you figure out how to say that, then you bring it over to YouTube, and then everybody will have, or not everybody, but so many people want to get YouTube views, so they create free tutorials because it's easy to show how to create a blog. So for example, this Mandy Baylor or whatever, she created a video on how to create a blog on Blogger. So that's the next thing. So you're like, okay, well, I want to get a little bit more specific. So you know that perhaps you're using Blogger. So on Blogger, oh wow, look, so there's suggestions, great. So maybe it's different to create it on Blogger 2013 than it is in 2014. So what I would try to do is use the latest one, so 2014, for example. If you're looking to do a Blogger blog on, in 2014, which that's where we are, then you be as specific as possible, and then you'll find, and you may have to watch a couple of them, and I would try to avoid the ones that are super long, and try to get to the ones that are quick, like this, 5 minutes right there, or even 3 minutes. Like this is probably a perfect example right there, and it's really easy, really quick, and you can just boom, right there, watch their video tutorial, and it's they start the thing. You can watch them create it, log in. They show you how to do every little step. So it's really awesome. I've learned countless things of how to do stuff on the internet through YouTube. It's crazy. There's so much free information on YouTube. You just have to know how to find it. So I'm gonna go ahead and unshare my screen here for now. Let's switch back. There we go. That's my face. Okay. So now okay, let me get back here. All right. So going on to number 4, create a Facebook business page around an interest if you can. So right now I'm not going to really show you how to do that because I just showed you how to find out how to do that. But I'm going to show you, or I'm going to tell a story. So there's one of my friends works for a company called FamilyShare.com, and he's awesome. Actually, I have a couple friends, and they're all awesome. And FamilyShare.com didn't exist a while ago, but they were trying an experiment with something, and they from what I know, what happened is they created Facebook pages based off of an interest. And this is a really simple example. that may be a little harder, but it may be something that you can apply specifically to your business and to the product that you're selling. And what it is so there's this the story that or that what they did was that they created a Facebook page called I Love My Mom. And so who doesn't love their mom, right? I mean, maybe there's a few, but everybody has a mom, and most everybody loves their mom. I love my mom, um, and and because that was an interest, people are like, yeah, of course, I love my mom. Like, so they like it, and everybody likes this page because it's I love my mom. Or, there's other ones that are like I love Jesus, or, a lot of other pages that are just like an interest. Or, a client that I worked with in the past, he specifically worked with a niche of people who struggled with ileocecal valve pain. So that's the little valve inside of your body that lets fluids and all the stuff you eat go from one place to another, right? So just in short terms, and so he was specifically working from that niche. Instead of saying you should buy my stuff, and then you like brand your whole page by like saying, hey, cute, in our example with you guys that are on today. Q Sciences, like you should buy Q Sciences or Q Life or Q I'm Amazingness or whatever, Q Global, and those are good, and that's okay to have as well. But one idea of something that you can do if you want is build it around an interest that is something that product actually helps with, because then people might be more interested in finding out more about that thing that you talk about. So for example, you could, so for example, there's like using the example of Family Share, because they said I love my mom, on this Facebook page, they grew this I love my mom page to, I think it has maybe like 5 million likes now, or more than that now. I don't 5.2 million or something. I haven't checked it lately. Likes on their Facebook business page. It's a business page. It's not specifically a business, but it does feed, and because of that, it is owned by Family Share. But they didn't even launch FamilyShare.com, that website, until they had grown their Facebook page humongously. And so because of that, they were able to then push that traffic from their Facebook page to their website, FamilyShare.com. And all these things, it's like, well, yeah, Family Share, it has to do with moms, and moms and dads and families. And so they share things that are related and, to people who already like moms, who are already interested in, those are the type of people that are probably interested in things that moms are interested in, or that families are, that concern families and family life and things like that. So something that you should keep in mind is that you can build a page based off of an interest. Like, for example, with Q Sciences, it's a product that helps to overcome mood disorders and help people with specific struggles that they have with, whether it's like anxiety or depression or severe bipolar disorder or whatever. And obviously you have to follow any sort of like compliance rules, but there are things that you can do to build a page based off of, for example, optimism or like happiness. I mean, everybody wants to be happy. Or you could even build a page like, for example, happiness quotes. Who doesn't want to have a happiness quote? Or like daily happiness. Or if you wanted to focus more on like the cellar size or trampoline, you say, well, okay, exercise or like good fitness or whatever. And when you get into these spheres, it is pretty competitive, but it's less competitive than if you were trying to say, hey, buy my bottle of stuff, or hey, you should buy this trampoline, or whatever, whatever your product may be. So, more people will click on it, more eyes will come to your Facebook page or your whatever page that you set up based on the interest that people have than if you say, hey, you should buy this thing, it's really awesome. That works too. It can work. That can work, and I think I think everybody that's watching has probably seen that work. However, this is another thing that will really help you expand and help you kind of move into a new kind of up level, if you're consistent with it. So, okay, so number 5, the last thing we're going to talk about is where do you go on Facebook or Google Plus to after you've been authentic, after you've been working on your being authentic online and creating your blog and making your Facebook page. Okay, so now what? Like, where do I find people other than the ones that that are coming to my page from my family and friends and stuff? Where else can I find people? Who else is going to be interested in stuff that I'm marketing? And how can I make that authentic connection with people like I made a connection with a Orthodox Jewish rabbi in Jerusalem? So let me just show you a couple of things on Google Plus and on Facebook. So I'm going to go ahead and share. Actually, first I'm going to pull it up so that I can show you. I'll start with Google Plus, and then I'll move to Facebook. So there's a lot of Google Plus. And this is pretty straightforward and basic, but Google Plus right now has a lot of things that are a lot of what are called communities, and they're really awesome. I love them. You can interact with people and talk to people, and that's where I've learned how to do so many different things with WordPress too, because I'm trying stuff out, and then I want to learn something new or ask for a suggestion about some sort of process or plugin or programming or code script or something, even just a simple thing, and I'm like, I'm stuck, I need help here, I haven't been able to find any videos on YouTube that show me how to do this, or sometimes I just truly get lazy, and I just want to know from somebody else, who's done it already, or who could tell me really simply how to do it, what I can do to make it easier. So these communities are so awesome, and so I like, for example, these are communities that I've followed based off of my interests. Okay, so I've created communities like this. I do a lot of blogging in the LDS blogosphere, but down here I have other stuff that I've subscribed to or joined on Google Plus, where there are real people, where you can go and interact with real people. So, for example, let me just show you one here. So, let's go to inspirational quotes. And it's free. You don't have to pay anything. You just go to it. There's 229,000 people on this one, and a lot of them have just an enormous amount of followers and people that are just constantly looking at this stuff. So this, you look down these little feeds, and if you join this feed, if you join this community, and you have notifications on, which most people, the default is to have the notification on, most people don't unsubscribe from them, so it shows up in their feed. So you go in here and you say, okay, this is like, life is about trusting your feelings, taking chances, finding happiness, learning from the past, and realizing everything changes. So I can just say, wow, I like your quote. And there's some truth in that, right? So I can say, do you know who said this? Or is it anonymous? Smiley face. So post that comment, plus it or whatever, and then they will be like, wow, somebody liked my quote. That's so cool. I spent all this time trying to find this quote and post it on this community so that people could see it, and somebody responded. So eventually she's going to get back to me, and it'll show up in my notification saying, hey, thanks, I appreciate it. I don't know who said that quote or whatever. Then I've made this connection with Sabrina Gibson, who I've never even heard of in my life, who is a beautiful woman that God created, right? Anyways, okay, so So that's Google Plus. That's a very quick, simple way you can get in and interact in communities. And to find those communities, let's go back one step before we go on to the next part. Right here, you can actually search. Sorry, right here. So search for communities. So things that have to do with your product. And sometimes you have to join smaller ones, and then I don't know why they do this, but sometimes you have to join smaller ones. So you, like, for example, if you're looking for a community that's focused on depression, or whatever. So let's search for depression, right? Okay, so here's one, for example, that is like, depression, suicide prevention, whatever. So you could join that, or, depression awareness, join that. I mean, these are things you could just join very easily and quickly. So you pick one, hopefully one that is bigger than smaller, because more people will be in it, more interactors. And then once you've done that, you'll come back, and then when you come to search, there will be suggestions of other communities that are related to the communities that you've joined, and those will be down here. So discover communities. They put these down here based off of stuff that you've already liked and joined. So this is where you start to find huge communities. So I've joined a lot of photography communities, and here's all these communities that have to do with photography, or Lightbox, which is software that's photography software, or Earth pictures, or photo tips, or whatever. I go down a little further. Maybe there's more stuff with, like, Google Plus and web stuff, for blogging, SEO, So these are all things that I've joined, or that are related to things I've joined. So that's where, and then you can say, oh, awesome, I'm going to join this, and then you have even more opportunities to share that. So they want to know, I think Google Plus wants to know that you're, like, serious about sticking with them. So anyways, so that's a quick, just really quick training on that, on how to join the communities on Google Plus. So, and Google Plus, just to back up even one step further, for anybody who hasn't created a Google Plus account, it's free. You just have to have a Google account, which is free. So you just go to, I think it's google.com/accounts or account, and then you'll find, how to join and create your profile and stuff. It's a huge potential. Google Plus has a lot of people on it, and it's growing every day. So now let's go to Facebook really quickly. So we're just going to do Facebook and Google Plus today, just so that we can, stay focused and have a little bit of time for questions at the end. So, okay, so this here, there are groups that you can find here and join that have to do with certain things. So let me just pull up all the groups that I'm a part of. I joined one a little while ago, so just to keep with this, this kind of thing that we are talking about with the Q Sciences products. So, for example, this is a community that has, wow, holy smokes. So this one, when I joined it, it was like, I think it was like 9,000 people. It's since grown to 22,074. That's amazing. It's crazy. I haven't really been on here for a while. But this is a place where you could literally come on here and make connections with real people. So, boom, right there. I'm having a hard time. She just barely posted this. Thanks for accepting my request. I don't know. So it's like, as soon as somebody joins the group, you can, these are, and obviously, okay, make sure you read the rules. So here are the rules over here. You got to keep the rules. You can't just post stuff. Like a lot of these huge groups, you can't just post your products, obviously. The way that I would suggest you do this, if you wanted to market your products to anybody in these types of groups, is I would say go on here, have real interactions with people, make real connections with real people who are struggling with depression or with whatever they're, and then they become a part of your network. You probably, if you make a real connection with them, you'll probably become friends on Facebook or on whatever you're, doing, and then, you could right here, boom, there's a quick thing, Todd Budgel. You could respond to that and say, hey, good afternoon to you too. How are you doing, or whatever. And then, make real connections with these people. They're real people, and they're just waiting to be talked to. Having a rough day, but I'll hide till my fiance gets home. Yeah, so it's like these are all people that struggle with depression or with something, and they're real people. Don't obviously keep the rules. You don't want to just say, hey, you should buy this thing; it'll help you. It'll change your life. It will probably change their life if they took it, but marketing straight to them isn't going to be as effective as building a real connection with them, actually being real with somebody, and then being able to show them that you care, because nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. And so once they know that you care, then they'll be interested in, like, how is this person so happy? And why do they, what is it that, and you can even share from your blog post to your Facebook page and say, here's my journey. This is my story. I used to struggle with depression or with whatever, and this is what's helped me. Not only has it been the support of other really great people like you or whatever, but it's also been, it's been that I've gotten really good nutrition, and I specifically love this thing that it has seriously changed my life. At this certain product, and or whatever, and that's where and then they come in, and then they are the ones that ask you about it, instead of you saying, hey, you should do this, or like pushing it on anybody. So anyways, that's a quick start, a quick little review of places, and let me just show you real quick so that you know how to find these groups. So if you're in your just regular Facebook anything, you hop in here and then you type in for example, depression, or for example, optimism. This is a good one, right? So optimism, and then you want to go. So these are all pages, okay? So, but let me just try. Let me see if I can find happy people or something. I don't know. Let me just see if I can group happy people group. Okay, so that's a company. Anyways, so let me just show you with a group that I'm already a part of. So this is my family group, Proctor. Sorry, I can't type right now. Proctor family group. Okay, so right here it says closed group. It'll say group, and it'll have this little group icon, or it'll have all the pictures of people in the group, but it'll say group right here. And then you can click on it, and if it's not a closed group or a private group, you can join it. And most of them are. So you just type them in, and but that, I mean, for example, that depression one specifically for Q Sciences is a great opportunity, I think. I just haven't taken the time to go in there and really start to make connections with people. So that is it for today, and that is my little training. And now I'm going to open it up to, let me just take off of the screen share here and put my face back on. But now I'm going to open it up to questions. So I have Cosette, and are you guys still on? Mike, Cosette? Let's see here. Did I lose you? Maybe I lost you. So I will, maybe if you have any questions, what I will do is I will, let me see if I can, are you guys on mute? Or maybe I muted it. Yeah, I'm not hearing you if you're saying stuff. I'm sorry. Okay, let me see if I can find you here. Oh, I heard somebody's voice. Oh, are you there? Okay, perfect. So it looks like there's a little bit of a lag, but that's okay. So do you guys, you know what, here's maybe what I'll do is I will I'm going to go ahead and pause the broadcast, and then then you can ask the questions, and I'll and then I can answer them offline as well. So all right, I'm just going to go ahead and close the broadcast. Thanks everybody for being here and for watching.